Hey everyone, it's Pete and I am so sorry for being gone for 2 weeks. In my Dolls and Their Stories Con edition, I explained what happened, but I'm going to explain one more time because I do feel bad. First, Father's Day came and I spent it with my father and my boyfriend's father, so that ended up taking a lot of time. And then I had a new family member introduced, so I got to meet my baby cousin, who's actually a third cousin, so that was really exciting for me. And then my cat ended up getting sick, so I took him to the vet to see what was wrong. And I found out he's in the first stages of kidney disease. So he is now on a special food diet, and hopefully as long as he stays on the diet, it'll be slow enough that he can still live a full and happy life. So that was kind of hard for me to hear, and it took me a few days to get over it. Back on the happy side of things, I am going to make it up with you guys by filming 3 vlogs to make up for the weeks that I lost. So this first vlog is going to be, as promised, dolly budgeting. So if you're like me, you know that you have to budget to get a doll, and we all do it because we love dolls so dearly. So my first tip when you're budgeting is to consider your expenses and your income. So I'm going to make a really simple example so it can just be easy to follow. So let's say you make $500 in a week and you get paid every week. You have $300 in expenses, so you pay that $300 and you have $200 left. But you want to make sure you have emergency money, so you keep $100 in your account. That means that you can put $100 towards doll spending. Now, if you're trying to save up for a doll that's more than $100, then you just need to not spend that $100 until you have enough to buy the doll that you want. Now, this isn't foolproof in emergency that's going to cause you to dig into your doll spending fund, but it does help to know how much you have in expenses so that you can budget out what you're going to spend on what. Now, expenses include, groceries, bills, anything that you know you're going to have to spend money on. Make sure you write it down. Another way that you can fund dolls, which is going to be my tip number 2, is credit. But you have to be very, very careful with credit. I don't want you to go maxing out your credit card and then tell me, it's your fault, you told me to. No. You want to be very careful about credit. Credit should be used in a very well thought out way. So, there's going to be 2 instances when I would recommend to use credit. 1, the doll is limited and you're absolutely head over heels and you need this doll but you don't have the money. I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't get it, you're probably going to regret it. And as long as you know you can financially pay off the credit card, then I would go for it. Because it's better than regretting it later and trying to find it on the secondhand market with every piece in it, especially if it's a full set. Number 2, if you know you can make the credit card payment and you're willing to work on a strict budget so you can pay it off. I personally don't own any credit cards, but I do use something called PayPal Credit, which is like a credit card. So you get a certain amount given to you that you're allowed to spend, so your limit. And with PayPal, if you spend over $99, you get 0 interest for 6 months. Number 3, if you have an opportunity to use PayPal Credit and you have a decent limit, then I highly recommend using it if you spend over $100 because you have 6 months interest free. And I also say that if you have that with any of your credit card offers, that's a really good tool you can use. So for example, I got Evan here on PayPal Credit, and so I made his payment in full with PayPal Credit to the, I believe I bought him from the Junkie spot, and over time I made payments to PayPal Credit on this amount. I paid him off in 3 months, so that was before the 6 month limit, so I didn't have to pay any interest. So it worked out really well. So the secret is that if you can find a way to, affordably use credit, then there's no problem with using credit. The problem is when people use credit and they can't afford the payments. And that is why so many people end up with credit problems and having too much on their credit cards is because they don't anticipate that they won't be able to pay the payment. So you really have to be careful with credit. And I'm not saying that credit is bad, and I'm not saying it's good either, but if you're very careful about it, it can be a useful tool for you. So you have to be really careful about that. And I'm going to give you my final budgeting tip: save. If you really want something, you gotta save for it. And it's really easy for someone to say that, oh, I can wait for it to be a gift, or I can wait for money. But if you work, I definitely recommend you putting money aside with your paychecks. You can do something as small as $20 a week, because that will add up over time, and eventually you'll have enough for the doll that you want. It could take a year depending on how much you want, but if that doll is basic and always is going to be there, or if that doll is your grail and you're going to look for it on the secondhand market, then it's worth every penny. It really is. So don't be discouraged and just keep saving. Like, I have a few dolly ones right now, but I'm going to save and I'll eventually get them, so I don't have to worry so much. It's a really big relief that you can save for most dolls and eventually get them. So don't feel too bad if you can't buy the doll that you want right away. The patience and the time will definitely be worth it, because as soon as you open the doll in your home, everything will just feel like, phew, it was worth it. You don't have to worry anymore. So that is my recommendations on dolly budgets. Do any of you have any tips for doll budgeting that I haven't mentioned that you would like to share? And I will definitely be interested, and I love hearing what everyone has to say. So that's it for now. Be prepared for another few videos today. Bye!